Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. Kenyans should prepare themselves for hard economic times ahead. Reason being, William Ruto and his team have started early 2027 campaigns, so they will not have time to fulfill or to deliver on the promises they made last year when they were campaigning. They will not have that time. In less than 3 weeks, William Ruto has been in every region of this country. We saw him in Western, we saw him in the Maasai Land, Northeastern Rift Valley. Some few days ago, he was at the coast. Today, he started off a 5-day tour of the mountain. So generally, in less than 3 weeks, William Ruto has toured every part of this country campaigning for 2027. So the question is, when will he be in the office fulfilling on the promises he made to Kenyans? Because every now and then, seeing him on car rooftops campaigning. If he's not on the campaign trail, he's out of the country. And the annoying bit about it, anytime the opposition calls for protests or demonstrations, Ruto and his team have been telling the opposition to give them time to work. Right now, there are no demonstrations, there are no protests. Instead of William Ruto and his team working, they are on car rooftops campaigning. But immediately the opposition starts their protests or their demonstrations, you will see William Ruto and his team saying, the opposition is blocking us from working. I want us to dig deep into all this for Kenyans to understand the political implications of this and what the opposition should do and do urgently. If you are watching us, but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's proceed. Yes, what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen? I'm seeing a William Ruto and his team who are doing campaigns for 2027, but they don't want the opposition to campaign. That's why anytime the opposition tries organizing their supporters for a cause, police is being unleashed on them. And we saw that through the demonstrations and protests. Let it be known that protest demonstrations, all these are rights Kenyans are given in the Constitution. And in one way or the other, protests and demonstrations are a way the opposition can use to campaign against the government. If the opposition uses protests, then they can convince the masses that the government is not performing. So those are just avenues and strategies of campaigns. William Ruto, anytime the opposition tries having some protests and demonstrations, we are seeing police being unleashed on them. While in less than 3 weeks, William Ruto has toured almost every part of this country. So Ruto and his team are campaigning, but they don't want the opposition to campaign. Azimio should realize that early enough, and they should be very strong, and they should tell the government no. Looking at Ruto's government again, it's almost certain and very clear that William Ruto came to power on the basis of propaganda. And it's interesting that Ruto is not changing his strategy. The same strategy used in 2022 is the same strategy I'm seeing he's going to use in 2027. Ruto is trying to brainwash the mountain and to brainwash Kalenjin Rift Valley. And they are using Raila Odinga to achieve that. That's why today on the mountain, it was all about Raila Odinga. Huyu mzee lazima tumpeleke Bondo. Hakuna handshake. Raila is on record making it very clear that as Azimio, they are not interested in any handshake with Ruto's government. Why is it that every now and then, anytime William Ruto is on the mountain and in Kalenjin Rift Valley, he's just talking on how he'll not agree to a handshake, while Raila has made that very clear. He is not interested in a handshake. Ruto is brainwashing the masses that he's not going to have any deal with Raila Odinga. He's exploiting the bad ethnic politics of the old, where you just have to mention Raila Odinga in bad light for you to gain some popularity in some regions in this country. Ruto has identified the mountain and the Kalenjin Rift Valley. And the handshake, in my honest opinion, is not going to succeed. And that's something I've been saying. Ruto is serving his first term and he is interested in retaining his seat. If he was serving his second term, there could have been a very successful handshake between him and Raila Odinga. But now that he's interested in defending his seat, most definitely will not have a handshake with Raila Odinga. Ruto has laid out a strategy where he wants to retain the mountain block and the Kalenjin block, and then is planning to raid into Azimio strongholds. That's what I'm seeing here. Ruto knows that the mountain and the Kalenjin Rift Valley, he does not necessarily need to perform. All he has to do is to succeed in painting Raila Odinga as a devil. That's the strategy William Ruto knows that he will use on the mountain and maybe in Kalenjin Rift Valley, and he will succeed. I'm seeing that as his strategy. And that's why I say a handshake between Raila and Ruto is almost not possible. What Azimio should now do, they should also start their early campaigns, be it through protests, through demonstrations, or through the normal political rallies. They should intensify their campaigns across the country. Yes, and they should actually be reminding Kenyans of the promises William Ruto made, which he has so far not actualized. And I'm saying that because Kenyans have this mentality of forgetting things very, very fast. If Azimio does not even remind Kenyans of the Finance Bill 2023 and the leaders who supported that bill, members of parliament, Kenyans might even forget that William Ruto forced the finance bill on them. These are things Azimio should be reminding Kenyans quite often. And they should be doing that through engaging the people in political rallies, protests, and demonstrations. They should not allow William Ruto to intimidate them to silence. Because what I'm seeing here, William Ruto is intimidating the opposition as he campaigns. That's what is happening here. So in a nutshell, Ruto wants to take Kenyans back to the dark days of Moi, during the one-party kind of a state. That's what I'm seeing William Ruto trying to introduce through the back door. He does not want any other political party to come out strongly opposing the government. Let me stop you there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Any other person watching us outside Kenya, Drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.